Let's go over my reading wrap up for the month of April. In April, I finished 6 books, and April is definitely the month of dark romance for me. At the end of March, I did start my first dark romance ever, which was Her Soul to Take. I did talk about this in my last reading wrap up, but I didn't actually end up finishing it until April. I ended up giving this 4 stars, and I do think it was a really good dark romance to start with. So if you're looking to get into the genre, I think this would be a good one to start out with. And then since I did like that, I figured we would just dive in head first to dark romance, and I read the Edge of Darkness trilogy by Lee Rivers. This is like the darkest of the dark romance. Book number 1, Insatiable. I think I was still getting used to dark romance, so I was still kind of getting over that like shock factor of the spice and just like some of the themes. So I did rate this 4 stars right after I finished it, but I think now looking back, I would bump this up to like 4.25 because I definitely do think I liked this a little bit better than this one. And then they just kept getting better and better. I rated Voracious 4.5 stars and Restitution 5 stars. I've never had characters where I just felt so like heartbroken for. I love Stacy, I love Cade Mitchell, I love Tobias Mitchell, and there actually is a prequel book to these that is Tobias, who is Cade's dad. It's kind of his book, so I do plan to read that in May. And then continuing with dark romance, I read Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. I think this was the perfect book to read after the Edge of Darkness trilogy because it's still dark romance, but it's definitely a lot lighter, a little less serious, and the element of humor in this was my favorite part. I really enjoyed this. Honestly, not even that much for like the plot of the actual story, but really just for the banter between the two main characters and the humor. Like I was actually cracking up. The plot wasn't bad, but I didn't find that that was the reason I kept picking this up, is to like find out what happened. I just wanted to hear the banter between the MMC and the FMC, and I rated this 4.25 stars. And last but definitely not least is Furybound by Sigil Sorensen. I was lucky enough to receive an e-arc of Furybound from the author and publisher, which is actually so insane to me because this is my most anticipated release of 2026 as a whole. Direbound was one of my favorite books I read last year, and back when I read Direbound, I wasn't even posting book stuff yet, so the fact that I got to read this early before it comes out, I'm still kind of wrapping my brain around that. But oh my gosh, it was so good. This was everything I wanted the second book to be. If you liked the tension in book 1, this is times 10. Also, there was not one single time while reading this that I knew what was going to happen next. This made me feel like reading an SJM book where like you know every time the last 100 pages is just going to be insane. Every time something big happened and I was like, okay, it's going to like calm down now, another big thing happened that I would have never seen coming. I rated this 5 stars easily. The end. I'm just gonna say I need the 3rd book like right now.